Welcome to class.
Thank you, David.
Good one.
We're going to spend another week on chapter 5. So, how about we just do a quick review and then I'll open it up to questions and then we'll do some practice.
That's fine.
Okay? So let's start on page 39. Okay, so let's look at the very top line of the page. So these are the letters that we covered before in chapters 1 through 4. All right, so let's just review those. Shin makes sh. Dot is on top, right? Sh. We've got bet, b. We've got taf, t. Who'd like to take the next one?
La. I'll go. La.
Good.
L for la.
It's an L sound. It's a lot called
La.
La. Right. Who'd like to take the next one? Ruthie?
Mem.
And the next one? Rona?
Final mem.
Final mem. Good. Next one?
Hey. No. Oh.
Hey, correct. It's an H sound. Next one, who'd like to do that one?
Race.
Raish.
R.
R sound. Good. Next one?
Silent.
Silent.
Silent. Right, Natalie. It's an Aleph. Silent. Next one? Third to last?
Iron.
Is I.
Ayin is also silent.
Silent.
All right, second to last?
I'll do it. None. N. N for new. N. None.
And the last one?
No.
Then Sophie.
Well, that's
And Sophie, final, also makes an N sound. Now we've got the vowels underneath it. I'll just do this one. So
okay.
we've got the two different vowels that make the ah sound, the plain horizontal line and the horizontal line with that looks sort of like the T. We've got the two different ways to make the O sound, the sort of line with the dot and the dot without the line. Both make the O sound. We've got the one way to make the S sound, our 3 dots, our basket of eggs. We do with the kids. 2 ways to make the A sound, the plain 2 dots and the 2 dots followed by the yud. And we've got that pesky shva that sometimes is silent and sometimes it is sounded. So let's do a little review of that shva. If it appears under the first letter, is it silent or is it sounded?
Sounded.
It's sounded, excellent. If it appears under the last letter, is it silent or sounded?
Silent.
Silent, good. Usually, when it appears in the middle of a word and there's only one of them, is it silent or sounded?
Silent.
It's usually silent.
Oh,
Yeah.
silent.
There are exceptions to that. And if there are 2 in a row and there's different letters, what happens?
First one is silent, the second one has sort of a sound.
Correct.
First one is sounded.
That's
I
good.
thought the first one was sounded.
I thought the first one sounded.
The first does the walking and the second does the talking.
David, is that also, even if it's 2 of the same letter, it's still the same rule?
You do the same thing.
Yeah,
First is
that's
sounded.
right.
Okay.
The first one is the one that's sounded.
Okay.
Right, so when it's the same letter, the first one is sounded, but when it's a different letter, the second one is sounded?
Uh,
That's too confusing.
no. So let's separate those 2 things. 2 in a row, it doesn't matter whether it's the same letter or a different letter. It's always that the first does the walking, the second does the talking.
First
The other rule that Steve was alluding to is if you have the same letter twice and there's a shva under the first one, normally you have one in the middle, it's silent, then it's sounded.
Yeah.
Like the word romamu.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, ma.
Romamu.
Ma.
Right.
Gotcha.
All right? Good.
That makes sense.
All right. So, and now let's skip down to the bottom of the page. Let's skip the vocabulary words and the roots for right now. Our new letters, chaf, final chaf, looks like a long resh that goes below the line, and chet. We got both of our ways to make that ch sound. That we don't really have so much in English. All right, and now let's turn to page 40. Let's look at these look-alike letters. So, I'm not going to read it here, but
Somebody else's phone.
let's look at the first pair here. We have a chet and a hey. So take a look at those. And somebody describe the difference.
Well, the whole. The whole.
The hey has a hole.
The whole.
The hey has a hole. That's simple enough. Good. Now let's look at the chet and the tav, which could be confusing.
Right.
Would you like to describe the difference for that one?
Tav has a toe.
Oh.
It's a toe. Perfect. Good. And how about the chaf and the bet?
The belly button.
Well, the belly button is when it has a dot in it.
Well, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Right.
But also, it looks different.
Even if it didn't have the dot.
Different. Right, it's a straight line for the bet, and the other one is, well,
Well, the bet
looks-
has a base.
it's a straight line too.
The bet has a base.
The bet has a base, it has a bottom bar, it has a base, it has the butt sticks out, some people say,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
right?
And the cuff does not.
So how about the bottom line here? We got two sets. How about the regular chaf and the nun?
Fine, yeah, the final.
No, let's skip the final one. The regular chaf and the nun. The nun is narrow
Mm.
compared to the chaf, right? And how about the resh and the final chaf?
Final half goes below the line.
Right.
Right, the final chaf goes below the line. And a way to help with that is the only letters that go below the line are final letters.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Great. So now let's go to your questions from your homework. Does anybody have any questions from the homework?
I do.
Steve.
All right, so I have a few, but the first one is right on the next page. On page 41, letter J.
Okay.
So the first word, which we are pretty sure is laha,
That's correct.
I was wondering, how would that be pronounced if the two dots were not below, if the shiva was not below the lamed?
That wouldn't be like the lamed needs to have a vowel.
So it would have, so there, you would never see the lamed without a vowel under it.
Right.
In a two-letter word like this.
Right. The only time a letter could not have a vowel is if it's the last letter of the word, or if it's a letter that is. There are exceptions actually, but you'd never have an exception with a lamed. There are certain letters that sort of attach themselves to the vowels before it, like yud.
Could you have a lamed without a vowel, but then have an aleph with a vowel underneath it? Would that be such a thing?
No.
You could have the O vowel after the lamed, and then there wouldn't be anything underneath the lamed, correct? You could have like loam, the lamed with the O vowel at the top and then an M.
Right. That's still having a vowel. It's just a location of the vowel.
This is just for informational question. So the vowel in that same word, the first word of J,
Yeah.
the vowel is up inside the letter. That's because the letter goes below the line and there wouldn't be room for the vowel. Is that correct? Or is there another significant for it being in the middle of the letter?
I think it's just a typesetting convention.
Okay. All right. Can I still ask our final two questions on that page?
Yeah, go.
I don't want to take up too much.
No, take as much as you want.
All right. Row L.
Line L.
L.
Right.
Yeah.
Line L. The fifth word. So
Okay.
we have our hay.
That's correct.
I thought it might have been Arahe, but that would have only been if there was another Shiva underneath another letter. Is that correct? Next to it?
Yeah, like the Shva is, in reality quite complex, and I am going to teach, this book teaches, and I'm going to teach a slightly simplified version of the rules of Shva.
Good.
So there are lots of exceptions, is what that means.
Right,
But
because
you're
it is in the middle.
correct.
Right. So it's not our hay, or it is, it's our hay, not Arahe.
The first
Right.
one, R, it's silent.
And the word just below it to the angle in M, the fourth word, is that Rahlan?
Correct. Silent. Silent.
Okay, that was all my questions. Becky and I had questions we have a couple questions on 2 other pages, but that was our questions from the beginning where you just started with us.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions on this page 41 or the stuff we've done so far?
We did, but Steve just asked them.
All right.
Excellent. Great minds think alike. All right. So let me ask this before we go on. How are people feeling about their mastery of this chapter up to page 41?
Oh, good.
Good?
All right.
Yeah,
Like-
good. Up to 41, we feel fine.
It was wonderful that you gave us a second week on this chapter, I think.
Yes.
For me.
Good. Good. All right, so let's turn the page. Now we've got our new vowels. 2 different ways to say oo. The 3 horizontal dots that appear under a word, and the letter, like the vav kind of letter with the dot.
Ooh.
Oo.
Ooh.
So you can tell the difference between the oo and the o is that the o has the dot over the vav, and the oo has it like as though someone threw a baseball into your tummy and you said ooh. All right. Any questions that you have on page 42?
Mm.
Norm.
Ooh.
So can I read the very last line there?
Yes.
F.
Baruch. There's no vowel. I think that's
Where are you?
At the very bottom.
42, the very
Okay.
last 3 words.
Yeah, I see.
So Norm,
Baruch. I don't know what, there's no vowel.
There's
Gamesh.
no vowels there.
Baracha.
so guys, Annie and I were talking about this thing at the bottom of page 42.
Same
I
question.
have no idea why those 3 letters without the vowels are there, because the sentence above it says you have learned the letters and vowels that spell 2 other basic Jewish vocabulary words. The words are Baruch and Baracha. Those 3
Baruch,
letters between them,
Baracha.
I think it's a typo.
We thought it was a mistake also.
And we don't know what the first letter of the middle word is.
We haven't learned that letter yet.
Right.
Is that a word?
That's just a typo.
That is an actual word in Hebrew?
If it is, I don't know it. There
I
are.
don't think it's okay, it's just random letters. Okay.
What? Excuse me?
It's just random letters they put there.
I
They're
think
random, they don't make a word.
so. Well, it
Common
might
word,
be a
right?
word, but it's not a word that I know.
Okay, not a common word, okay.
Years ago, I learned that in medieval tapestries, they always made a mistake because only God is perfect. Maybe that's why this is here.
Thank you. The book is
Boy, that's
perfect.
taking them off the hook.
What about
huh?
me? You said I was perfect.
Your opinion, right?
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay. So let's go to the next page, page 43.
All right, so I have a question on 43.
Okay.
So in the very middle, right above where it says, may God bless you and keep you, Numbers 6:24.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The first, oops, sorry, go ahead.
We haven't learned the letters in that phrase, of course, right?
No, well,
We
we,
haven't learned Yud.
no, we've learned all the letters in
haven't
this
learned
phrase.
Yud.
Yes, we
We've
have.
learned Yud.
Oh, we did, oh, I'm sorry, I knew,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So then, you know what, maybe I shouldn't ask that question yet. Although it didn't really have to do with the Yud.
Vareka.
I was a little confused with the Shiva under the Chad. So I was wondering, was it Yivarecha? Because then you still have the,
You're right.
in fact, you have two chas together, two hufs.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's
That's a trillion. Yivarechecha.
it's pronounced Yivarechecha.
That's what I thought, because I've heard that,
Yeah.
but that's not how I read it.
Right. So
Vareka.
so
Look at that.
I believe the reason is that you have two of the same consonant sound, even though it's not the same letter in a row, and it's under the first one. So it's not really possible to say it properly without sounding the vowel. Does that make sense?
It does. Becky and I both thought it was Yivarecha because we recognized the word, but we couldn't read it that way with sort of the lessons we've learned so far, other than if it's an exception rule. So that's why I had it circled to ask you.
Right.
Dave, you have I like this class. You have a thinking class. I bet you haven't had one like this.
It's been a few years.
No, but I know we're a good group. The challenge is the teacher.
No, Ruthie, he hasn't had a class like this since he used to teach kindergarten.
No, I'm impressed with my fellow students. We all learn from each other.
That's great.
That's true. That's true.
Great class.
And David can handle us. I'm impressed.
Well, sometimes.
David, how do you say the last word?
Hold on one second, Natalie. I just wanted to call on Rona.
Oh, sorry.
So if we pronounce it Yivrecha, that would be incorrect then.
Yeah, Yivarecha. Yeah, it would need to be Yivarecha.
Vareka.
So it's a situation where the Shiva in the middle actually does cause the sound and it's not
Right,
silent.
it's not silent, yeah.
It follows that rule of like two of the same letter in
Two
a row.
together.
But this is two of the same sound in a row.
Right. Thank you.
What was the question, Natalie?
How do you say the last word in that
Yeah.
prayer?
V'yishmerecha.
Reka.
You got the two shvas in a row. The first one is silent. V'yish, silent.
Reka.
Recha. V'yishmerecha.
Yes. Okay.
Would you say it again?
Can you all read the phrase, the first phrase in that box? That's an important phrase to sort of just Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. It's probably the most common phrase in Jewish prayer. So that's a good one. To just see the words and recognize them and almost get to the point eventually where you could read them without sounding it out.
We were trying not to, in order to practice what you're teaching us to read Hebrew, we were forcing ourselves on some of these to sound it out, even though we knew what it was supposed to sound like before.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea for your learning. Annie?
Well, Natalie, did you have a question?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. Did you say, David, on that first word and the may God, the one that has twice, that the rule that's being applied from God treats the cat and those two last, I forget their name, but they're treating them as if they're the same, even though they are written differently because they sound the same?
Oh, you know what? They are the same letter.
Yeah.
There's an instance of two of the same letter in a row.
Or that's just the like Sophite version of it?
Right, exactly. That's exactly right.
It was Sophie.
Oh, right, final, right.
It's
Final.
kaf and kaf sofi.
Yeah.
Final kaf. Yeah. All right. How are you with the two as in a row accent? Two as in a row, where is the accent?
On the first.
I had trouble hearing it, David. Becky and I did those two sentences 3 or 4 times, and I have trouble hearing in some of those words. I have trouble hearing that there's more of an emphasis on the first ad than the second ad.
Hearing what? Hearing me read them?
So like lechem,
That's not correct.
excuse me, lechem, sorry,
That's not
lechem.
correct.
Oh, how do you say
But you're
that word?
stressing the first one.
Lechem.
Lechem?
Lechem.
They sound the same. I was saying I was pausing. So lechem.
Lechem.
It's
Lechem.
not the.
Lechem. The first one louder. More emphasized.
What, may I ask why?
It's just
Why do you
the way
put the
language
emphasis?
is- Why?
Yeah.
Here's the answer. Because that's the way it is. That's the way the language developed as a spoken language, and so that's the way we read it.
Lechem.
So, Steve
Yes, sir.
and everyone else, let's start with a word that you know. Go to the box. That's the key Hebrew key quote, the blessing phrase in the priestly benediction.
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. What's the next word?
Melech.
Not melech, right?
Melech.
Here's the difference between
Melech.
melech and melech.
That's a good. So
Melech.
so the emphasis is on the M. So it's melech.
Correct.
Melech.
Yeah.
Think of it as a syllable.
Right. It's such a. I have to tell you, it's such a fine. Maybe it's my ears.
Exactly, yeah.
I have a lot of trouble. I understand the rule, but I have a little. For whatever reason, I don't pick it up as well as Becky was picking it
I'll
up.
tell you what.
I don't pick it up either that well.
Well,
So first of all, it's of all the things we're learning, this is a very fine point.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
as you learn prayers and use Hebrew, this might take care of itself. So let's not get overly stressed about it. Okay.
Good.
Uh-huh.
I already decided not to. I told Becky. I'm telling you, we read those 2 lines, A and B, 3 or 4 times, and I could only hear it part of the time, and I said, I'm just not going to worry about it.
Good. Don't worry about it. So actually, though, would someone like to, who feels confident that they understand this, like to read some of line A at the bottom of page 43? And read 3 words.
line A,
Line A.
A.
lechem,
Yes.
rechem,
Yes.
rechel,
No.
reches,
Reches.
reches rather, reches.
Rechel.
It's a downbeat. Think of like you're clapping. Da-da, da-da, da-da.
Yes, you're a musician. You're a classical musician. Yes, it's a downbeat.
That's helpful. It is for me.
Lechem, rechem, rechel. It might help if you actually make a fist and hit the table a little.
No.
Lechem,
In English.
Lechem.
melech, rechem, rechel,
Rechesh.
rechem.
Very teach the reading in English to the kids. To clap the
Nor-
I think the tricky ones on that line are the last 2 letters because
Yes.
you have the accent in the middle of the word. So I think it would be merit,
Correct.
no
I don't think-
tenet.
Correct.
That's where I got the where Steve was having a problem on the first word. I got that one. I was having more of a problem down the road on that line, but I think I got it.
So the longer letters, the longer words with them in the middle, I could hear the distinction better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever.
So
for whatever
that
reason.
form, the second to last one, omeret, that's we're learning what's called decoding right now. That is how to read so that it's sounded correctly without understanding any of the grammar or translation, right? But this word omeret, it's a specific verb form. It's the third person feminine singular. It's like, so that means she speaks. That's what that means.
Okay.
She, feminine, speaks. She is also third person, right? It's a verb form. And so, like, if you someday want to like learn more Hebrew grammar, translation, conversational, or understanding Hebrew, which we might do at some point, verb forms like that will always have that same, eret kind of ending, and it'll always have those two vowels, and it'll always be accented that way. So you get used to this. Another example of that is if you go back to Baruch Atah Adonai, what's the next word?
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu. So that's another example of enu is an x it's a suffix that always has the same accent. Enu. It's not a new. It's enu.
Enu.
Enu. Right? And it means our. It's a suffix so Elohe means God. Eloheinu means our God.
On the Eloheinu, unless my eyes are crazy, under the first letter, the Aleph,
Yeah.
isn't there two vowels? Isn't there a schwa there next to the S
That's
sound?
another form of the E vowel that we haven't learned yet. It makes the same sound. It's just there to confuse you.
It is on the page. It is on the page of vowels, Norm. If you look, there's a couple of those double things on the page of vowels. We're just not there yet.
We're not there yet. Let's turn the page. Let's. Anyone else want to read the beginning of line B on page 43?
I'm afraid so.
Well, don't then, unless you're feeling very brave.
So let me. Can I try a couple?
Yes.
Sure.
Nesher.
Good.
I'm not
Neshef.
Say it again. What?
Neshef.
No.
Where do you get the F?
Neshef. Oh, shach. Oh. Neshech.
No.
Neshech.
Neshech. Steve, make a list. Do you have a table?
Yes,
in front of
I thought you were going to say Meshiganesh.
you? Neshech.
Neshef. Neshef. Berech.
Yes.
Berech.
Tell him.
Tell him. People are I'm gonna be doing this in temple and say, what the hell's he doing with his fist? Tell him.
Tell him.
Show merit.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Show merit.
So merit. I'm not doing this right.
Holemet.
Good.
Holemet. All right. So the longer words, I do hear it better than the shorter words.
I don't.
All right, guys.
I'm happy we spent time on that.
Let's for now. Do we have any questions? So that's all the material. That's all the material. Do we have any questions on what you practiced on pages 47 and 48?
Yes.
Let's go with Natalie first.
I don't have a particular question, but I think it might be helpful if on 47 and 48, we just go in and pick out a few lines to practice.
Well, I'm going to give you breakout room time to practice 47 and 48, and I'm going to go into your rooms to help.
Okay.
Okay? We could do a few together first. I think it's a good idea.
Either way.
Any questions about what you did, Steve?
So on numbers, and I hope I'm not having to. This is the last of all my questions. So.
Okay.
So in number 3, where we're supposed to match up the English word with the Hebrew spelling.
Yeah.
I noticed that root is Ruth, and when I looked at all the vowels and all the letters, there is no TH sound I could find in Hebrew. So I just had a question about that.
So it'd be root.
So
I've been root in my Hebrew forever. There is no
Root.
TH.
Right.
The way that we read Hebrew, there's no TH. There are certain regional dialects where they do a TH. For example, whenever I type into Microsoft Word the word mitzvot, plural of mitzvah, commandment or
Right.
good deed, Microsoft Word always corrects it to my T at the end to add an H after it.
It's
Because
both.
mitzvot. And you always see like B'nai Brith, right?
Right.
B'nai Brith. You never see B'nai Brit. You always see B'nai Brit. So there are, and it's a very sort of German Ashkenazic accent, I think, where they do that. I'm not 100% sure that that's the right one, but there is some Ashkenazic accent where they do the tav as a th sound. We're not doing that, so don't do it.
Okay. No, I just because it said all the other words pretty much sounded exactly like they were, but root and Ruth, I noticed definitely didn't, so that's why I was curious.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's let me take a quick little vote from you. Would you rather go right to breakout groups to practice this stuff, or would you rather do a couple things as a big group first?
I said big groups, fine.
Big group? All right, let's do a little bit as a big group. So let's do, I'm going to call on you and put you on the spot, and you can pass if you want to pass. Okay?
No passing allowed.
Only failing.
Well, you're not the teacher. Okay. Let's do on page 47, number 4, the bottom of the page. Let's do the first line, line A. Okay? Will you start root? I mean,
Okay. Home. More than one to the whole row?
do 3.
Okay. Home. Tome. Tomb.
Wait, you said tomb?
Wait a second. The fourth one.
Third, the third.
The third is tome.
Okay. The fourth?
Tomb.
Good, stop. Who'd like to do the last 3 in that line? How about Annie?
Tooth,
Good.
hope,
Good.
Hur.
Poor. Good. All right, line B. Line B. The first 3, Norm.
Chana,
Good.
chaka,
Say that again.
chaka.
No, there's no dot in that cha, so it's a ch sound, not a k sound.
Oh, wait a second. I didn't see that it was a shva. I thought it was.
Oh, no, it's not a shva. It's not the vowel, it's the consonant. You said cha ka. It's not a k sound, it's a ch sound.
Ha, ha.
That's it.
Aha. Chan.
Good. The last 4 in row B, Teresa.
Ha-nan,
Good.
ta-nan,
Good.
ta-nach,
Good.
ta-nach.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. The next line C. The first 3. Carol.
Nor.
Good.
Wait a minute. That should be, ooh. Well, the first one should be, that's why I say nur. It should be nur with the
Nur.
ooh.
Nur.
And
Yeah.
the next one would be nor
Good.
and four.
Good. All right. The last 4 on that line, Rona.
Could I just ask you a question on the two that Carol just did?
Sure.
So the dot on the vowel dot is nor, is O, right?
Wait. So if the dot is over it, it makes an O sound.
So could you pronounce that?
Nor.
You want me to read the first 3?
Yes.
Nur. Nor. Chor.
Okay, thank you. So the next one is Bore,
Good.
bore. It's hard to make the different there.
So
Bore.
guys, overemphasize it.
Yeah.
No ooh and o. All right.
Bar, bore.
Good.
Bull,
Good.
bull.
Good job.
Thank
All right.
Right here.
Line D. Becky, the first three.
Oh, nah.
Good.
Oh, no.
Oh, note.
No.
Oh,
No.
not.
Right.
Oh, not.
Oh, not. Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Wait, no.
On,
Anna.
nah.
Anna.
Anna.
All right. The next three, Steve.
Enough.
Ana,
Say it again.
ana,
Good.
anat,
Good.
hot.
Good job. All right. Line C.
I'm still saying O for the
C or E?
The
Yes, it's
first
big.
four.
See?
E, letter, row E.
E,
Row,
yeah.
row E, Natalie.
A, B, C, D, E.
Hooray,
Good.
hooray,
Good.
naray.
Good.
No, 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 okay. No, no.
Next one.
The rest of the line, Mike.
Nete,
Okay.
chete,
Okay.
Nefe.
nefe,
Okay.
chene.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good. Any questions on that, folks?
But thank you for going over it. That was good.
Good. So let's spend 10 minutes in breakout rooms. So hold on one second. Just want to ask Denise, do you want to be in a breakout room?
No, thank you.
Okay. And you didn't want to read anything out loud, right?
No, not today.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to put you into breakout groups. Let's see. Let's see.
The olive can't use the bottom vowel in it. It's either oo or o. Sure, right? We'll have to ask him.
I think you need
We,
to split.
we haven't seen that before.
Okay, here we go. So
Oh,
you're
we have to-
practicing what's on page 44.
48.
All right, 48, 48. Sorry.
Okay. Starts with K, so it's Chesh, Chesh, Sha, Chesha.
Okay, I think the first vowel is the ah.
I'm sorry, Chesha. That wasn't my question. My question, yeah, right. It was the
Okay,
two
I gotta read David's cheat thing. When there's a double,
The second one says the sound.
two
The second
in a
one says the
row.
sound.
We're on line
The
F.
first walks,
Wait,
the
on
second
line
talks.
F. I circled a whole bunch I had questions on, so it's starting with those.
So what are you saying for the fifth word?
So it's
Oh, the fourth, I'm sorry.
Chash, Sha.
No,
I
you
think
got
it's
the same letter.
Hashisha.
Hashisha.
So it's two. Oh, that's right. Two similar letters. Each one is distinct.
Yeah.
So
Ruth, when I see that, I may be saying the wrong thing, but in my mind, I'm trilling it. So I'm saying the consonant twice.
yeah, that's what I said. When you see two, each one is separate.
Yeah.
You give it more power.
I'm not putting a vowel on the first consonant, but I'm saying the sh, the sh.
Yeah, right.
the
Just
sh.
the consonant. So it would be Hash, Sha.
No,
No.
hashasha.
Hashisha.
Hash. No, I don't have it. Hash, So it's ha, sha.
Yeah.
Sha.
Ha, she. Okay, because you need the vowel sound to mush with the other one, right? Ha, sha.
No.
Ha, sha. Okay.
No.
No. I'm sorry.
Ha, sha.
Say it again.
Ha, sha.
Hash.
Ha, sha. Different syllables. Ha is one syllable.
Ha, sha. Three
That's
syllables?
3 syllables in that word.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Ha, sha. Okay, that was completely out of my brain. It's completely new concept.
That's a
Okay,
tricky
thank you.
thing.
Hash, sha. So it's, okay. I got it, I think.
Next circle.
Okay, next circle. Go all the way down to line M. The last one. So would it be ara? I'm afraid to say it. Ara. No, we need a vowel. Arachet.
I think it's arach. No, it's arachta.
No.
Ra.
At the end there. The last one, line M.
And then chat.
The last one.
Wait.
So 3 syllables. Ra. Chat.
I think it's cha.
Guys, would you like to know what it is?
I don't want to know what it is. Go ahead.
We could just speculate, or I could tell you.
I'll guess enough times I'll get it right.
Listen to this.
I am.
Aracht.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait a second. I'm going to need you to repeat it.
How did you get that?
Aracht.
2 in a row. The first is silent. The second is
David,
set.
would you say it again?
Aracht.
Ara.
That's.
I don't hear it.
They should not have put this in here. This is
Ara.
so
But I
hard.
don't even hear what
That's
you're
very
saying.
hard. It's a
Ara.
hard word.
You know what? We have 2 conflicting rules.
Forget the rules. I just don't hear the sounds.
Aracht.
Ara.
They're both silent. They're both silent.
Oh. And is that because the second shva is the last word letter?
Right. So the second shva, you have one rule that says it's pronounced, the other rule says that it's silent.
Okay.
And I guess it's silent when it's the
Turns
last
out that
consonant.
it's silent.
Ara.
When it's, I guess the second one is silent when it's the last letter
Yeah.
in a word. Ooh, that's tricky. There's too
I
many
did
exceptions.
pick out the losers, though, or the winners, whatever way you want to look at it.
That's a very tricky one. They should not have put that in here.
Okay, I have a very philosophical question for you, David.
Yeah.
This is biblical Hebrew. We're in temple and we're praying.
Yeah.
We're praying to God.
Yeah.
I assume he knows Hebrew fluently.
That's
If
She
we
knows
make a
it
little
too.
mistake, does that really ruin the whole prayer? You don't think he can correct for us?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So we do the best we can, Ruthie.
Yes.
No.
All right, what's your next question?
I picked out the toughies. Okay, so we just did row M, right? The last, no, did we do row M? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now I'm down to row P. I have 2 in row P that
Okay.
that Ron and I had trouble with. The third one, hurricane.
All right. So you got the line under
Huracan.
there.
Oh, hurricane. Oh, wait, it's a line. Okay, I'm sorry. Hurricane.
It's a problem, not a reading
It's
problem.
a vision. My vision is gone.
Vision problem.
Yeah.
Huracan.
Hurrah would be hurrah.
So let's talk about the rules of Shvad that will apply.
That I still don't get.
You got 1 in the middle of the word. Is it typically silent or sounded?
It's silent.
Right. So try making it silent.
Is that an A? Hurricane?
Huracan.
Okay. I'm sorry. I should go. Hurricane.
Huracan.
Khan.
Huracan. Yeah.
Khan.
Now the next one is hurricane. The next one is 2 dots.
Okay. And then the last, we're on to the last one in that row.
Yeah.
Kana.
That's it. Perfect. Perfect.
Say that again.
You say it.
No, you say it.
Hurricane.
Well, you said it better last time.
Hurachna.
No. Hur.
Hur.
Na.
Hurchana.
Yeah.
Kana.
Na. First one silent, second one sounded. First does the walking, second does the talking.
And there's two there. I'm sorry. Okay.
Na.
Na.
All right, I'm going to go join another group, folks.
I won't give up. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
See you later.
Okay, we're on our own now, Norm.
All right. You got some more circles?
The very bottom, the bottom line, almost the whole thing. I think we were tired when we were studying. The bottom line, you have the first, the third, the fourth, and the fifth.
What?
I had that one circled. I didn't know.
Tough.
There's David.
You have any questions for me?
Yes.
Yes, page 48, line M, fourth word.
And third word.
Third and last, I think.
The last one or the fourth one?
Fourth one.
What do you think it
Arachta.
is? Say it again, Mike.
Arachta.
Yeah, arachta.
So with 3 syllables, arachta.
Right.
Arachta. Okay. How about the one just before that, the third one?
What do you think it is, Natalie?
Erhe.
Perfect.
And what about the last word?
Now that to me is the one they shouldn't have put in here because it's too hard.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, so you have 2 shvas in a row, but one of them is the last letter of the word.
Mm-hmm.
You have the rules that I gave you don't work because you have one rule that says you have 2 in a row, the second one is sounded. You have another rule that says if it's under the last letter, it's silent.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You don't know. It turns out that it's silent.
Okay.
So it's pronounced aracht.
Aracht. Okay.
Aracht. They shouldn't have given that to you. Any other questions? Go on reading then. I'll just be
Okay.
observing.
Yeah.
I think it's whose turn? Teresa?
Teresa.
Is it mine?
Right, line N.
Can we go to O because I have questions
Sure.
on O? So I've got 3 circled, the first and the last 2, and I'll just start reading. La, ha,
Correct.
la, hum,
Correct.
mal, haim.
Correct. Doing great.
So this last one, and then this one, mal, haim. No, mal.
So first of all, under the first, you got a shva under the first letter, the first mem.
Yeah.
So is that silent or sounded?
It sounded. So there's a short vowel in there. So it's,
Yeah. So it's a syllable.
oh, it's a syllable?
A syllable. When it's sounded, it means it's a syllable.
Okay. Okay. Mala, hey.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Do it again so it's a little bit less tentative.
Malay. Wait, let's see. Malay.
You
No.
your mind
Malahi. Now you got me all nervous. They said it right the first time.
You did say it right.
Okay, I'll take a deep breath.
Take
Let's do it one more time.
Nerves, it's just us.
Okay. Malaha. No. Malahi.
That's it.
That's as good as it's gonna get.
This is
Lach. Hain. I know you're supposed to say that syllable.
So you did the shvas right. You just You just did the last vowel under the second half.
Han. Okay, Han. Han. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the last one. Okay, let someone else try.
Who wants to read that word? I want to hear that. I
O?
want to hear that word right.
Oh,
Natalie, will you read that one?
Are we on P?
Yes.
No, I want to hear
No,
that
oh,
word.
oh, the last word.
The last word, line O.
Lach, lachan?
That's correct.
Oh,
Okay,
Lach lechan.
got it.
Rachan, rachun, horchan,
Good.
horchain,
Good.
horchana.
Good job, Natalie.
I have that one circled.
Okay, line 2. Aruch,
Good.
Arum,
Good job.
Arur,
hmm
Ahur,
Good.
Rechush.
Good
Rechush.
job.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
Ooh,
You
that
guys
was
are all doing great. I'm going to go poke my head in another room now.
Quick question: the shva under the chat sofit.
Where are we?
Oh,
Right here? Oh, no.
yeah, a line N, first word, melech.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers my question. It's a silent shva. Got it.
Yeah. Under the last letter, it's always silent.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
See you guys in a couple minutes.
Melech.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
Have we got questions
we
for
have some
you?
questions for you, David.
Do you want to ask them now or when we return to the big group?
It's
Well,
up to
well,
you,
actually,
but it's
one general question. What is this with the shins that have the dots in the middle? Who
Right.
asked them to do that?
It's just there to confuse you.
Ah, that
Good
explains
job.
it.
so there is one word that we wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
If you could look at the last word on row, for sure. We have a few words to ask, but this one really confused us. Row M, line M.
Yes, this is the word that should not have been in the exercise.
Okay, that's what I thought, because we don't have a rule for the T with the shiva underneath at the end of a word.
Well, what you actually do have are two conflicting rules.
Right, we have the
One
two
rule that
shivas
says
together.
You have one rule that says you have two shivas together. The first does the walking, second does the talking, so the second is sounded. And then you have another rule that says that a shva under the last letter is silent.
Right, that's what we battled with.
oh, so you
So
don't put that
That's why
here?
they shouldn't have put this in this exercise. It turns out that it's silent.
it's a rah,
Aracht,
just a rah.
aracht,
Racht.
aracht.
Hey,
They're both silent.
Did you
okay.
pronounce the top there?
Yeah, aracht,
Okay.
aracht.
Sort of like that, like the T at the end of that. You just
It's sort
barely
of like
get
if you say like I snacked before. Like I had some tortilla chips. I snacked.
Okay.
We didn't snack. That's not fair. How do we know you were even in the chat rooms? Maybe you were eating the whole time we were all working.
That's true. You'll never know.
All right. Would you like? So we won't ask you some of the other words. Would you like us to each read a line for you? I thought we were doing very well.
There's actually not time. It's 2:15.
We're
wow.
good. We each judged each other.
We
How
did
did you do? Do you feel like you did well?
Judgment.
We did
Well, I didn't
well.
say it. I didn't say judge as in a negative.
I'm going to end the breakout rooms now,
Okay. Okay.
and we'll take some questions. All right.
Okay.
We look like we're back in our same breakout room.
Oh, hello there. I thought we
Yeah, look
left.
at that.
He wanted to work with us, Rona.
I think so. I did press leave.
I did too.
Yeah, everybody.
Maybe just there's a delay.
Everybody will be back. There's
Okay, here we
when I
go.
close the rooms, there's 60 seconds.
Oh, okay. So we're all set now.
So like if you don't come yourself, people will be brought here in another 10 seconds or so.
There they go.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, all.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So how was it, folks?
Oh, Annie and I practiced our Hebrew. We did pretty well. Right, Annie?
You should put us together. We're like the two kids that keep talking and don't do the schoolwork.
It's the one room that I didn't have a chance to visit, and I should have known that that was the one. That's the one that I should have like sat on top
Put
of.
us together. Not with
We
us.
lost Ruthie.
Where is Ruthie?
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
Do you have Ruthie in a waiting room?
No, where's Ruthie? She must have had to leave.
This is Lahosha.
I think she's standing right next to Waldo, but I can't make one of them out.
Ruthie left.
It's over the shit.
She must have had to go to work or something. So, guys, your homework is the same. To review this
Go over this chapter. Okay.
and practice with your chavruta, preferably, and maybe yourself.
Okay.
Pages 47 and 48
Okay. Sounds like a
out
plan.
loud. All right.
47 to 48. Okay.
I think we're making progress.
I think so too. You all sound good to me.
I think so.
Well, I'm glad you gave us another week on this chapter. That's good.
That was
Yeah,
very
I think it was a
helpful.
good idea.
Yes. Should we dare go into chapter 6 next or
Next,
wait for you?
you know, I wouldn't go into there yourself. We'll do it together next week. If you want to read ahead,
It's
Go
dangerous.
right ahead.
Be careful.
go right ahead. If you feel like going forward on your own to have a little preview, I certainly wouldn't discourage you, but there's no need to do that at this point.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, David.
Okay. Have a
one.
great week,
Everybody
everyone.
have a nice week, everybody.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
too.
Well,
Bye.
very well.
That's all the numbers.
Bye-bye. Be
Be
well.
well.
Bye.
Think of it.
Makes me think of Les Mis.
No.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good